Hi there, welcome back to my views and news. Three news stories for you. First reviews. I said in a video a few hours ago that I'll try to analyze PM Abiy's message for Tigray, especially about how it is being seen in Tigray. I analyzed the message yesterday, but the pulse in Tigray, the response in Tigray, we want to discuss about in this video. Secondly, viewers, a controversial law which I hinted at that it was controversial a few weeks ago is going to be implemented. Those opposition politicians, government critics, activists who are abroad must be ready. And thirdly, viewers, a new operation has been launched against the Oromo Liberation Army by Kenyan government. Is OLA operating in Kenya? Who asked Kenyan government to launch this operation? Let's start with first. We know that last night PM Abiy posted a message about Tigray. He broken his silence on the issue of tension in Tigray. He called for dialogue. He called for negotiations. He praised the people of Tigray. He praised the history of Tigray. He called Tigray birthplace of civilization, laws, and institutions. But he said, you people did not benefit from war. He acknowledged in the message that there is fear of war in Tigray. Question is, how is this message being seen in Tigray? How are people responding? Well, the response is as it was expected. There is so much deficit of trust between the people of Tigray and federal government due to 2 year-long war. War is the main reason which happened. People don't trust Abiy, honestly. They are not giving any serious attention and importance to BM Abiy's message. They say, firstly, that Abiy has posted this message to use it later. If war breaks out today, tomorrow he'll say, see, I warned you. I told you to talk. You did not listen. Now you are fighting. I warned you. I did my job. I did not involve myself because you would have said that the government of Abiy was trying to interfere in Tigray's internal matters. But I warned you. I knew war was coming. I warned you. You don't listen, or you pay the price. Others say that Abiy, by the way, I talked to lots of people, people from all colors of the spectrum, from Tigray, Eritrea, Amhara, Far, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Somalia, etc. Pro-government, opposition, everyone. And I talked to lots of people from Tigray in the last 24 hours. None of them trusted the statement by the Prime Minister. All of them say that Abiy cannot be trusted. His message cannot be trusted. Uh, he says one thing, but he acts another thing. So you cannot trust him. Secondly, people say that Abiy is definitely uh, backing a party in Tigray, but he does not want to be seen as partial, as not neutral. That is why he has released this message. They're equating this message with a message released before the war, 2020 war. I mentioned that in last night's video. Before 2020 Tigray war, to federal government released a similar message, called for restraint, called for dialogue, called for reconciliation. But war broke out. People think that same could happen. Abiy is not interested. He is not sincere in finding a solution to the conflict in Tigray. He is, in fact, a spoiler. He is the one who is responsible for this crisis. Now, just a few words. What Abiy said is not wrong principally. He's calling for dialogue. People of Tigray, leaders of Tigray should not blame outsiders for internal failures. Abiy is not stopping Gitacho and Bratzian from negotiating. He's not stopping Gitacho and Varade from talks. In the end, if anything happens in Tigray ruling elite will be responsible. Both TPLF wings and military. Abiy has not deployed federal forces in Tigray so far. PP has no role in Tigray's politics. It's an internal political fight between two rival TPLF. Yes, Abiy could be backing one of the parties. Why? He's the prime minister of the country. He and the TPLF agreed with him to accommodate Prosperity Party in Tigray. But I think main portion of blame should be placed on Tigray's ruling elite, not on federal government. Secondly, viewers, a controversial new law is going to be implemented. I said days ago, weeks ago, when law was being discussed, that it could be used against political opponents, especially when election is nearing. Government will use its machinery, laws to cripple opposition parties, to silence critics, to paralyze opposition parties and politicians. This is how politics works in Ethiopia. Abiy does not believe in real democracy, in real democratic values. Don't expect him to hold free, fair, transparent elections. The new controversial law is about property recovery. Uh, Law has been passed by the parliament. If any property is found which is the owner of the property cannot provide money trail about how he bought the property can be confiscated, can be seized by the government. Now, those Ethiopians who are abroad, the properties are in Ethiopia. Those properties can also be seized by the government under this law. If a man has died and there is a property to his name, and investigators find out that the property was purchased with illegal money, even that property can also be seized by the government. Now, such laws are not bad principally. Problem is that when they are enforced, the mechanism, the structure which enforces them uh, is political. It has affiliations. It is being backed by some groups like the government, like military. It does not implement the law across the board in an impartial manner. This law is going to be used against Ethiopian opposition politicians, Ethiopian critics who are living abroad. Preparations are underway reported. Lastly, was a new operation has been launched against the Oromo Liberation Army in Kenya. Oromo Liberation Army has its hideouts in neighboring countries. It uses neighboring countries as shelter. People know that, government knows that, agencies know that as well. Why do these neighboring countries support Oromo Liberation Army? OLA has contacts there. OLA has managed to make contacts with local community, with local elders, with local influential people in border areas. OLA has its presence in South Sudan, in Kenya. And these, sometimes through these countries, arms are smuggled to, metals are smuggled out of Oromia, minerals are smuggled out of Oromia through these countries. OLA has a vast network. Oromos live in large number in Oromia, so it's easy for OLA fighters to mingle with local Oromos in Kenya. Ethiopian intelligence agency chief Ridwan Hussein visited Kenya recently, and he urged Kenyan government to launch an operation against OLA in border area. The government of Ethiopia wants a decisive, speedy action against OLA by Kenya now. Why? Because we know that OLA is fighting an internal conflict now. Two main OLA commanders have surrendered, Shirabbe and Sani Nagasa. And fighters aligned with them also surrendered. Government forces trying to strike a decisive blow Kumsa Dereba's promo liberation now. If Kenya, South Sudan, Sudan cooperate and they launch simultaneous operations against OLA in border areas and military launches operations, Ethiopian military, on Ethiopian territory, that would strike a decisive, deadly blow to OLA's capabilities. This is what Ethiopian government. The operation launched is directed against arms smugglers, against criminal elements. This is what was announced by Kenyan security officials 48 hours ago. The people part of the operation say that this operation is mainly being conducted in border areas, Kenya, Ethiopia border areas, and main target is going to be the Oromo Liberation Army. We'll have to wait to see. Will Kenya really pursue this operation against Ola, or is it just trying to appease the Ethiopian government? Let's see. Thank you for watching.